Welcome to the overview video of all predictions for UFC Fight Night Mackenzie Dern vs Amanda Ribas 2. On this card there will be a total of 14 fights, and we start with the first one, which is between Joey Solecki from the United States, who's 31 years old, and Nurullo Aliev, who is from Tajikistan and is 24 years old. Aliev is a very big favorite with minus 625, and Solecki the underdog with plus 435. 94% of the Tapology community predict that Aliev wins this fight, and only 6% pick Joey Solecki to win. So far, 55 channels made predictions on this fight and 0 pick Joey Solecki to win. And all 55 pick Aliev to win, so 100% of all the picks. And that of course also means 100% of the best predictors of 2024 pick him to win. Next up is a women's fight between Victoria Dudakova from Russia, who's 25 years old, and Fatima Kline from the United States, who is 24 years old. Fatima Kline is the biggest favorite on this card with minus 845 in odds, and the biggest underdog of this card is Victoria Dudakova with plus 545. Even though Dudakova is such a big underdog, still 50% of the Tapology community predict her to win this fight. And despite being the biggest favorite of this card, only 50% predict Fatima Kline to win. However, the YouTube predictors are more in line with the odds, and 50 channels out of 59 predict Fatima Kline to win, or 85%, and 9 channels predict Dudakova to win, or 15%. Of the best predictors of 2024 with a return of investment of at least 5%, 9 out of 10 or 90% predict Fatima Kline to win, and 1 out of 10 predict Dudakova to win. The channels that were the best predictors in 2024 have their names highlighted in light green or dark green. Light green meaning they had a return of investment of 5 to 10%, and dark green for a return of investment of 10% or higher. For more information, check out the end of year results video where we go over the best UFC Predictions channels of 2024. A link is in the description below or at the end of this video. The next fight on the card is between Magomed Gadzhiyasulov, the 31-year-old from Bahrain, and Bruno Lopes from Brazil, who is also 31 years old, for a fight in the light heavyweight division. Magomed is the favorite with minus 240 in average odds, and Bruno Lopes the underdog with plus 190. Magomed is a big favorite in picks by the Tapology community with 87%, and 13% is for Lopes. And also in picks by the YouTube prediction channels, Magomed is a big favorite. 55 out of 62 channels predict him to win, or 89%, and only 7 channels predict Bruno Lopes to win. And 100% of the best prediction channels pick Magomed to win. The next fight is between Ernesta Kareckaite from Lithuania, who's 26 years old, and Nicolle Caliari from Brazil, who's 28 years old, in the women's flyweight division. Ernesta is the favorite with minus 275 in average odds, and Nicolle is the underdog with plus 215. And again, the Tapology community is going against the odds makers, and again in a women's fight. Even though Ernesta is the favorite with minus 275, only 33% of the Tapology community predict her to win, and 67% of them pick Nicolle to win. It looks like that the more pretty or popular a girl is, the more picks she will get on Tapology. And the YouTube predictors are going with the odds makers. 35 out of 60 channels pick Ernesta to win for 58%, and 25 channels are picking the underdog in Nicolle for 42%. And 5 out of 9 of the best predictors pick Ernesta to win, and 4 pick Nicolle. The next fight is in the welterweight division between Preston Parsons, who's 29 years old, and Jacobe, who's 28 years old, and both are from the United States. Jacobe is a pretty big favorite with minus 500 in average odds, and Preston Parsons the underdog with plus 360. Jacobe is also a big favorite in picks by the Tapology community, with 89% predicting him to win, and most think it will be via KO/TKO. And only 11% predict that Preston Parsons wins. And in picks by the UFC prediction channels on YouTube, we see kind of the same results. 49 out of 57 or 86% pick Jacobe to win, and 8 channels pick Preston to win, or 14%. and 8 out of 9 of the best predictors also pick Jacobe to win, and only 1 is picking Preston Parsons. Then we have a fight in the lightweight division between Thiago Moisés from Brazil, who's 29 years old, and Trey Ogden from the United States, who's 35 years old. Thiago is the favorite in average odds with minus 190 and Trey Ogden the underdog with plus 155. 74% of the Tapology community predict Thiago Moisés to win and 26% predict Trey Ogden to win, and most think this fight will go to a decision. This fight is the closest in picks by the UFC Prediction Channels on YouTube, with 33 channels out of 62 picking Thiago to win or 53%, and 29 channels pick Trey Ogden to win for 47%. And 6 of the best predictors pick Thiago to win and 4 pick Trey Ogden to win. Next, we have a fight in the middleweight division between Marco Tulio from Brazil, who's 30 years old, and Ihor Potieria, who's 28 years old from the Ukraine. And Marco Tulio is the big favorite with minus 525 in odds, and Ihor the underdog with plus 375. Tulio is also the big favorite in picks by the Tapology community with 89% and 11% pick Ihor to win, and most predict this fight will end in a KO or TKO. And Marco Tulio is also a big favorite in picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels. 55 out of 60 or 92% pick him to win, and only 5 out of 60 or 8% pick Ihor to win. And of the best predictors, 8 out of 10 pick Marco to win and 2 out of 10 pick Ihor. The next fight is in the flyweight division between Jose Johnson from the United States, who's 29 years old, and Felipe Bunes from Brazil, who's 35 years old. Johnson is the favorite with minus 185 and Felipe the underdog with plus 155. Even though Johnson is not such a big favorite, 85% of the Tapology community predict him to win and 15% pick Felipe to win. And most are predicting this fight will go to the decision. 44 out of 60 channels or 73% predict Jose Johnson to win, and 16 channels out of those 60 or 27% are picking Felipe Bunes to win. And most of the best predictors pick Johnson to win, with 7 out of 9 and 2 out of 9 pick Bunes to win. Opening the main card, we have Punahele Soriano from the United States, who's 32 years old, and Juras Medic, who's 31 years old, from Serbia, for a fight in the welterweight division. The favorite in this fight is Medic, with average odds of minus 215, and Soriano the underdog with plus 170. Medic is a big favorite in picks by the Tapology community, with 88% predicting him to win and only 12% predicting Soriano to win, and most think this fight will end in a KO or TKO. In picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels, Medic is also a big favorite. 52 out of 63 channels or 83% pick him to win, and only 11 channels or 70% are picking Soriano to win. And of the best predictors, only 1 channel is picking Soriano and 9 out of 10 are picking Medic. The second fight of the main card is between Aston Bashi from the United States, who's 23 years old, and Christian Rodriguez, also from the United States, who's 27 years old, for a fight in the featherweight division. Despite making his UFC debut, Bashi is a pretty big favorite with minus 275, and Rodriguez the underdog with plus 215. 70% on Tapology predict Bashi to win and 13% predict that Rodriguez will win, and most of them think this fight will go to the decision. And 48 out of 60 channels or 80% predict that Bashi wins this fight, and 12 channels or 20% are picking Rodriguez to win. And 8 out of 9 of the best predictors pick Bashi and 1 channel picked Rodriguez. Then we go to the middleweight division for a fight between Chris Curtis from the United States, who's 37 years old, and Roman Kopylov from Russia, who's 32 years old. The favorite in this fight is Roman Kopylov with minus 265 and Curtis the underdog with plus 205. 77% of the people on Tapology predict that Kopylov wins and 23% predict Chris Curtis to win, most thinking this fight will go to the decision. And Kopylov is a big favorite in picks by the YouTube Prediction Channels. 52 out of 61 or 85% pick him to win, and only 9 channels or 15% pick Chris Curtis to win. And 7 out of 9 of the best predictors pick Kopylov to win and 2 out of 9 pick Chris Curtis to win. Next up, we have a fight in the middleweight division between Abdul Razak Alhassan from Ghana, who's 39 years old, and Cesar Almeida from Brazil, who's 36 years old. Cesar Almeida is a pretty big favorite with minus 275, and the underdog is Abdul with plus 215. And on Tapology, Cesar Almeida is also a pretty big favorite, with 82% of the people predicting him to win and 18% pick Razak to win. And most of them are predicting this fight will end in a KO or TKO. And in picks from the YouTube prediction channels, Cesar Almeida is also a pretty big favorite, with 48 out of 62 or 77% predicting him to win, and 14 channels are picking Abdul Razak Alhassan to win for 23%. And of the best predictors, 8 out of 9 pick Cesar and only 1 is picking Abdul. For the co-main event of this evening, we have a fight in the welterweight division between Santiago Ponzinibbio from Argentina, who's 38 years old, and Carlston Harris from Guyana, who's 37 years old. And this fight is the closest in odds on this card, with Ponzinibbio being a slight favorite with minus 135 and Harris the underdog with plus 110. And in picks from the Tapology community, this is also a very close one. 52% pick Harris to win and 48% pick Ponzinibbio to win. And most think this fight will go to the decision. Also, in picks by the YouTube prediction channels, it's a pretty close one, with Ponzinibbio being the favorite with 35 out of 62 channels predicting him to win or 56%, and 27 channels pick Harris to win or 44%. But then, with the best predictors, Harris is the favorite again, with 5 out of 9 picking him to win and 4 out of 9 pick Ponzinibbio to win. And then, for the main event of the evening, we have a fight in the women's strawweight division between Mackenzie Dern, the 31-year-old from the United States, and Amanda Ribas, who is from Brazil and 31 years old. In their first fight, Amanda Ribas won by a decision, and the odds makers expect Amanda to win again, because she's the favorite with minus 200 in average odds, and Mackenzie Dern the underdog with plus 160. However, the Tapology community is going again against the odds makers in a women's fight for this event. 62% think that Mackenzie Dern wins this fight and 38% predict Amanda wins this fight. And most predict that this fight will end in a decision. And the UFC prediction channels on YouTube agree with the odds makers and disagree with the Tapology community. Amanda is the big favorite, and 49 out of 62 channels predict her to win or 79%, and 13 channels or 21% predict Mackenzie Dern to win. And all of the best predictors of 2024 pick Amanda Ribas to win. Hope you enjoyed this overview video of all predictions for Mackenzie Dern versus Amanda Ribas 2. If you enjoyed this video, then hit the like button and subscribe for more. If you want to support the channel and get some extra perks, then don't forget to check out my Patreon to become a supporter. A link can be found in the video description. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.